Hey, I just warmed up some milk. Ooh, can you see the steam coming off of it? Oh, my goodness. What was I thinking? I warmed up this tiny amount for 30 seconds. It was a kind of overkill there. And then I was looking for, I'm going to tell you about something important in just a second. Okay, I'm looking for a 5-ounce coffee because I put so much milk in here. And that would be my favorite. Oh wait, I have one sitting here all by itself, Fortado. Okay, potato, tomato, Fortado. Yay! This is a 5-ounce cup. And while it's brewing, I'm going to tell you about something. I want to talk about what are called anxiety igniting thoughts. Okay, anxiety, you know what anxiety is. Igniting, that's like to start a fire, okay? To start something burning, to ignite something. You know what a thought is. Okay, so this is about thoughts that ignite or start off anxiety, but start it off in a way where it can really grow. Okay, so some people, most people, have thoughts that can lead them into feeling anxious. And some people are so accustomed to these kinds of thoughts, they don't even realize what's happening. But I want to give you an example that I think is easy to understand, but maybe some people can even relate to this kind of thought. So, just now, I was out with Grayson, and there was another dog, happened to be a golden retriever. And, you know, those are always so happy and playful. And it was about the same age as Grayson. It was 2. And, I was so excited to see another dog. Normally, I do not let Grayson play with other dogs here when I'm walking him because, one, you never know when dogs might start out friendly and then, a fight could erupt. Or who knows, if other people have been keeping their dogs vaccinated and all that. Also, and most importantly, is the dogs could, Grayson's really powerful. He's like 70 something pounds. And so he's like half my weight, and I think it's all muscle on him. And golly, if he were to lunge at another dog or really want to, get all tangled up with them, he could do that. If he stopped listening to me. And I don't want to end up in a situation like that. Well, this morning, the lady said, can we let them meet each other? So I said, yeah, okay. So we slowly let them get closer and closer. And they both seemed to be good. They were wagging their tails. They were behaving. And, they were touching noses and sniffing each other and all that. And they both were they frolicked together. We didn't let them actually run around because they were on leashes, but they were both so happy and jumping around. And Grayson with his great big clodhoppers that were all full of dirt, from walking in the grass, and there's dew and there are places with dirt, and he jumped right on my foot and then my shoe got full of dirt. Anyway, that's beside the point. They were both just so joyful. So, let's say that you see this, or let's use me as an example, okay? So I see this, and I think, wow, I never get so excited and happy over things like that. Okay, this is an example of what could be an anxiety-igniting thought. And this is how. I have a choice if I think a thought like that, all right? I can go, oh, wow, what is wrong with me? I'm never really really happy and joyful over things. I don't know. What is wrong with my life? What? Okay, I could think depressing, negative thoughts like that. Or, actually, I have a choice. I could think, wow, I can't remember a time when I got happy like that. What can I do? What can I change in me where maybe I would have a possibility of being happy like those dogs are and jumping for joy, so to speak? Okay, that is your antidote. That's your out from getting into a depressing, negative, anxiety-ridden way of thinking. In the first case, if you're thinking, oh, I'm never like that, then you can end up, going along that pathway, thinking, what's wrong with me, so on and so forth, becoming all anxious and depressed. And, can you see how what you do, the way you respond, the way you choose to respond to your thoughts? Oh, this is hot. Oh, I forgot I heated up that milk. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's good. Fortado with almond coconut milk. So the way you choose to respond to thoughts that you might have can affect whether you are promoting anxiety in your life or whether you're promoting fixing things, fixing problems. Now, if you just do the same old things all the time, usually what we call that is a fixed mindset, okay? It's almost like being stuck in a rut. But if you have a growth mindset, you're questioning, you're curious, you're open to challenges. There's always the possibility that in choosing the positive thought, what can I do to change things in my life so maybe I might experience more joy? There's always a little possibility that maybe there's nothing you can do. But that's not, you don't want to think about that. I mean, that's always a possibility, a yes or a no. There's a big in between yes and no, all right? So now you can start directing your thoughts towards, well, what kind of things can I do? Well, like for me, I have a tendency to be I hate to say it, but I'm a perfectionist. I'm not the kind of perfectionist that some people I've met are, where like I'm obsessive, like, okay, all these salt shakers need to be in an exactly straight row. Like, not that, that's obsessive. That's not perfection. Okay. But it's like, if I am working on something, like if I'm doing something, some activity, I want to produce something. I want to have something to show for it. And it's taken me 69 years to realize that it's okay to just enjoy doing the activity. You don't have to have something to show for it. You don't have to save everything that you make. I realize I used to belong to a fiber guild. No, not the fiber you eat. Fiber like, fabrics, materials, straw and grasses and string and rope and cloth and, stuff like that, wool, sheep's wool, all that sort of thing. And we would learn to make things out of these different fibers. And how they're used and all that. Oh, it was fascinating. And some of the things we made were really worth saving, using, displaying. I should say some of the things I made. Some of them, though, they were okay. It was interesting, but they were just going to be either dust collectors in the house or else something more stored in the closets taking up room that I would never use. But you know what? I saved all of those things that I made, or almost all of them. Why did I do that? Because somewhere inside of me there's a thought that says, you put work and effort and thought into this. You can't throw it away. You know, it's like the person who has all these things their kids make and they hang them up on the fridge or wherever. You know, but after a while, you've got a bazillion things. You can't, you'd have to buy a whole new house just to store all the things your kids make. Sometimes you have to decide, what am I going to keep? What am I going to throw away? Every year with my kids when they were little, starting at about maybe 4 years of age, we would go through their box of things that they had wanted to save, and they would have to pick one special thing to save. I think that's what we did. Golly, it's hard to remember back now. Gee whiz. Remembering back 20, 30, 35 years, something like that. But the point is, I wanted to teach them early on, you don't have to save everything. Yeah, that's what we did. I would have them pick one thing from that year that they wanted to save and go in their memory box. And you know what? Now that they're all in their 30s, we got plenty of stuff in their memory boxes, plenty of stuff to go through. It seems like a lot. And they don't miss all those things that we did not save. Anyway, I'm kind of getting a little bit off here. So the point is, we have to be practical. We have to avoid thinking about things that are going to lead us in a bad direction. Now, let me tell you why I'm saying, I gave you that example. Okay, what can I do in my life to become more joyful? Okay, if I say to you, don't think about red and white striped zebras. As you make an effort not to think about that, it's going to be difficult. That's all you're going to think about, unless you think about something else. Okay, so instead of sitting there and thinking, oh, I'm no fun, I'm just, I'm kind of a down person. I'm like Eeyore. I'm always kind of mopey, and there's just must be something wrong with me. I'm not like other people. Instead of getting into those sort of thoughts, think about something else. I like playing solitaire, and really, I don't even care if I win. So maybe I ought to just try playing it, for the enjoyment of it. And it's kind of a little thrill when I win, and I do win sometimes. Maybe I should do that. So, see, then I've got my mind thinking about other things. I'm not thinking about, oh no, how do I not be down on myself and depressed? And no, I'm thinking about things I can do, and eventually it'll take me to thinking about all kinds of other things. So see what I'm saying? If you're watching this morning, Philip Keatsa, good morning. And yes, I am feeling better. I had influenza A, and I think today I'm 100% well. Well, okay, so I've said enough about anxiety igniting thoughts, which are things that we want to avoid. And I'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. Meanwhile, God bless you. Make good choices.